and there are a lot of tags in HTML. Like we get to know tags like image tag, um, heading tag, paragraph tag, and etc. We get to know more about it, like how we style style our HTML with using of style tag, right? So today we are going to learn about the CSS. Like why we need a CSS. First question is, if we have HTML and we if we use HTML, if style tag is it can be used in HTML, why there is a need to use the uh, where there is a need to use the CSS? The answer is very simple. Like CSS give you a more flexibility to edit the things and to style a thing in more pretty way. Like it's make a thing more prettier, and it give us so many options which is not given in the HTML. Like HTML in terms of styling, the components are very limited, but in style CSS we get to know we get so many other components. Okay, so today we are going to start to learn about the CSS, and yes, let's get started. So basically, cascading style sheet is called CSS. HTML markup can be used to represent H1 means element of the top table. This is a basic revision जो अपन ने कल की यही था. For example, H1 से heading H1 to S6, like we go from H1 to S6, and when we decrease, the size is also decrease, right? That's why we use heading tag, and heading tag we can even edit the font of a size with the tag font size, right? So this is all about it. It advises to separate semantics from the presentations because multiple it's easier to present documents on multiple platforms like browser, cell phones, book. Okay, user control presentation. Okay. Okay, style sheet language. Basically, when we learn more about CSS styling sheet, we need to know more about we have so many alternatives of CSS. Like there is no alternative of HTML. Like we have Bootstrap. This is a framework of CSS where you get to know a lot of things. Like if you want to make a menu, you will get a ready-made. Okay. You get the ready-made you get the ready-made notes available on this. Ready-made coding is available for it. But CSS will give you, if you know CSS, it give you a lots of things. Like you can even edit a very small thing in the CSS that no framework can match. That's why CSS must take time when you start learning your front-end journey. To when you start learning your front end journey, the CSS will take a time, but it will worth it because you don't directly move to the like frameworks and another things. You have to get to know more about the CSS, right? So today we are going to learn some basic things about CSS, like how we edit our CSS thing with the help of HTML. Like we get to know more about what ID and classes does, how why we make classes, why we take all of these things could be done. So basically, let's start it with it. The CSS introduction. Okay. So basically, what CSS introduction? Yes. What? Yes. Okay. Okay. My PPT is showing. It is visible.
Yeah, it's visible.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. 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 So basically, let's start it with our CSS introduction. I will share my screen with the Visual Studio Code. Mm. Okay, so Kal, we learn about all of these things like why title is used, ordered list, unordered list, division tag, navigation tag, paragraph, image, script. Now today we connect our HTML. First we make our style sheet. Like style.css. You have to save your css files with .css, and you get to know the style.css can be seen by this. Okay, now connect your style.css in your uh, head section of your html. This is one of the very interview question, that if you applied for the job, for the front end job, any other job, the interviewer will ask like why we add our link tag to head section of our html page. So the answer is because if you write links, addition, like everything would be added in the heading part of the heading part of a HTML page, it helps to load the page faster. इससे क्या होएगा कि whenever we are loading things बहुत जल्दी से हो जाएगी. That's why we will add our CSS to it. Link here equals to sheet href, okay, dot style dot css. ओहो ये गलत नाम है. डॉट css. ओके, यू गेट टू नो कि अपन ने यहाँ पर अपनी लिंक के अंदर अपन ने आरएल करके स्टाइल शीट में ये सब चीजें ऐड कर दी. द स्टाइल शीट इज एडेड. इट हेल्प्स आवर सीएसएस टू लोड फास्टर in our web page. This is why we use our real equals to style sheet href. We use this thing. It helps our css to load faster in a web page. So we connected our style sheet to our html. Now what happened?
Excuse me, I have a doubt.
Now what will happen is that basically in the style of css, it would be edited in our web page. Let's start with how with hello kisi. Hello, is someone saying anything? Hello, hello, is someone saying anything? I think someone unmuted his or her mic. Okay, never mind. Let's move forward. So basically, we are gonna add some of the basic properties of HTML. The thing we did was connect our style sheet to our index.html. Now we have made the classes, like we are gonna edit our home and contact. Like what we did was we make a class name. Actually, someone unmute their mark and my mic and it's disturbing me. Like थोड़ा voice आ रहा है. Okay, okay. So we make a class, and I explained it to the earlier yesterday, that what is the difference between class and ID. Like still, like classes are made because we're gonna add this navigation bar in our style.css. We have to edit it in dot next. Now we edit our style.css, for example, navigation bar. Now we make some changes to our this component, like this is a single component in nav class. Understood? This is a single component in a nav class. Okay, we are going to edit some of these things like editing properties. For example, okay, title, we edit the titles. Body के अंदर title हो गया. CSS introduction, everything is cover up in here. Okay, hello world. Okay, paragraph font size smaller, letter spacing, everything. Okay, let's start it with it. We wanna let's font size equals to 3 rem. Now we're gonna see some changes to our now we are gonna see some changes on our html file. Open next server. Okay, now what happened? You clearly see what happened to our navigation bar. We edited a font size with the help of our styling sheet. Now, with the help of how we edited, we took this navigation class. this navigation class with the help of dot operator. Okay, dot operator, it's, you can say anything like it's a dot. We use this dot nav and edit the things up. Like, okay, we added color. Let's change the color. Color equals to, okay. We're gonna see the color is changed. So there is a many property. Okay, let's start it with, okay, let's start it with position, absolute, relative, okay, so this is the positions we use in our navigation bar or any other tag. Is that the position fixed means there is the position which is fixed, like when you're making your page responsive, right? There was a fixed space, like if I fix the space of there is nothing to, nothing have to be moved there, right? And sticky means static, relative, like basically in our practice we basically use absolute and relative, but sticky but sticky can be used if you are moving your page like up to down, okay, but वो अभी इसमें यूज नहीं होएगा. So sticky is basically used, so sticky is basically used when you move your page up to down, then वो stick होके up to down ही move करेगा, right? So let's move forward. Okay, the syntax is font size. We already, this is a property name and these are the declaration. Okay, this is a very important thing when you are ending. This column size would be needed. If you don't try the column size, the the CSS will not be considered anything. The column size will be given. So basically, we make a class and we edited the class. We edited the class and we can see the result. We can see the result in our web page. So whatever we learned right now, what till now is that how to connect our style sheets to HTML, and why we are adding in the heading section, why we add our, like, there's a question arise like if it's possible we can even connect the style sheets to any portion of our HTML document. Like you can even add, if you are adding main.css in bottom of your HTML page, in the bottom of your HTML code, then why we are adding style sheets on the top? The answer is it helps. It tells the web that it's a style sheet, and it's help them to load faster. Like style sheet load faster if we are giving, if we are adding this to our heading section, right? This is one of the very interview question that comes to you, so note that thing. And why we are adding the meta text? Because meta text is added to make our page more responsive and more secure, and more other things bhi hoti hai iski. We are not moving that much into it. So document title, and yeah, you can even edit UL, OL, everything. Like UL are the only thing which do not require any dot operator, like it is already style sheet. Style sheets know that this is a type of component which is need to be done. Okay, this need to be, it's only predefined. Okay, now we adding like font size, font setting, no, font size equals to larger. Now you're gonna see the UL, these two objects, dog and cat, in, is increased size. Like dog and cat is, उनका थोड़ा size बढ़ा है. Okay, now take it in the 5 rem. Now we will see the result. Okay, now we are gonna larger 5 rem. Okay, now you're gonna see the difference between we just giving a predefined library, predefined component in our CSS, ordered list and unordered list, and we editing our ordered and unordered list in our style sheet without writing the dot operator, without using any dot thing. There are so many things, like you can edit H1. These are the basic things. These dot operator is used when you made your own classes. Note that thing, when you are making your own classes, you need to use dot operator, or when you are using your own ID, you need to use this hashtag, right? We're going to learn more about it, how to edit your IDs. But in classes, note that you have to, if you are making classes which is user based, like you make, like I made this nav Pranshi, okay? Now what happened? Now what happened? I made this class nav Pranshi, and it is not my CSS compiler not know this anything in this like type is present, okay? So we have to satisfy it, satisfy it with dot operator, so our compiler will know ki, yeah, this is a class which is given, which is defined in a HTML, and a style sheet need to edit it, right? Though, so dot operator is used for the class which is user base, and ul HIE and another like body, everything is everything is based on it, right? Everything is already defined in it. So if you are making your own class, you need to define it. Other than it's already defined, okay? We are gonna edit our h1 file. H1, where is our h1? H1, H1, H1. Font style equals to italic. Okay, so there's a one thing like we learn about it, like in like in index we have to use this I tag to make a thing italic. Okay, this I tag is used to make our thing italic, make our font size italic. But what happening in style.css, font size italics is option. The option is come overall, like font dot size up. Let's change the color to blue. Okay, color blue, font size italic. The font style italic. Basically, font size is like what kind of style you want, and you can even give your own family. Like what is font family? You can even give your own family. I already use this typical family, so my CSS will know ki everything is visible here. But you can even, like I told you, like you can go to Google fonts. Okay, let's go to Google font. Okay, you will get the CSS code also here. Like yesterday we get our HTML code, but today we will also get our CSS code. Okay, so you're gonna see like CSS. This is our CSS code, the font family. This Control plus C. Okay, so you can even edit. You can even edit your font. Control plus C. Right? You can even edit your font with a Google Sheet or with the help of Google Fonts. So font style is basically the tag which you use to style a font. Color is basically which type of text your color should be like. Font family is basically a attribute which is used to describe what kind of font family you need, what kind of font you need basically. Okay, so there is one more thing that I need to discuss, need to know, that you guys need to know. Like this, when we put this star, this means all, right? All. If I think like background, background color should be like aqua. Now you will see something, right? Everything is appeared. Everything is gonna work on our background color. Why this is happening? This sign, remember, this sign is basically used if we want our font family to be same in throughout our web page. Then we add our font size to this asterisk sign. Okay, what happened is this: we do not have to edit every single font to go to every single attribute. That's why what we do is we use this all. This means all. if everything is written here, then it is all like, if I put background color this, then it is visible to throughout the all the web page, like throughout all the, from top to bottom we will see only this color. Okay, so this means all. So basically this is used to for transition, like if we need to add animations and background colors and etc, everything like font family, that what I need, that it should be equal, it should be similar throughout the whole web page. That's why we write all the things in asterisk sign. This means all. Okay guys, let's move forward. Let's change our color to normal. Okay. So basically this is all thing, like you have to, if you have to edit everything please use this. It means you are editing the same thing again and again to save your cost and save the lines of code. We, if we use everything again and again, we put this in this asterisk signs, which means it is applied to all the pages. Like, okay, so till now we have learned about, if we are making a class, a user defined class is denoted by dot operator and edited with the help of dot operator. But in fact the ulhi and another tag which is already defined in our index.html does not need dot operator to be edited, right? Now let's move forward how you can multiple edited the same thing again and again. For example, I need, okay, for example, I need h3 like hello all and p lorem 12 30. Okay. Now what happened is like I need to edit h3 and h1 together. Like if I need to edit same thing to h3 and h1. Now there is alternative of that. Like how could I do this? I can write h1 comma h3 and edit it. Right? This is possible. This is possible, like to handle the same thing again and again, and you can even edit p to it, like everything is edited in the same thing. This is called group editing, because we are making a group of h1 h2 h1 h3 and p, and we are about to get edited. This is called group editing. But basically this is very useful when you are making a big project, when you are literally working on the project. Your style should be like this, like this very very much code, very much line of code which we wasted in our style sheet. That's why the frameworks are made, to avoid too many lines of code, too many lines of editing. Because if we write style sheets are is very long, then it is very hard for a web to load quickly. And basically, when we see if a web page is taking too much time to load, then basically it's not a good web page. We say that this website is not really sufficient. That's why there is very alternative, like frameworks is made to make our line of code less and make our web page more attractive and make our page more faster, right? So let's move forward with the PPT. Like, okay, CSS syntax and statement. Basically, font size is called property name, and dot colon after the colon size. These are called the declaration. Basically, declaration means we are declaring something. We are declaring our containers to do a particular thing, right? To particular thing. Like we need our font size to do a thing like this. That's why it's called the declaration. Selector string is basically we selecting. These are the terminology which we can say. Like if you are selecting something like is PES and everything, this side is called selector string. And property names are like font size, background color. Declaration are like what we want them to be like, and declaration block. So basically everything, like you're gonna see something like these are the particular block. Like we are working, when we are working in the css, we basically focus on the block. Like this is a block, this is h block. If you want anything to be edited in the h1, then we will see the h1 block, right? This is a ul block, this is a nav branch block. This is our all block. So basically we are working in a block Basically we are working in the block sections. Okay, in css is very sort of very easy to use, you can say, because there's lots of things to be like this, like multiple element, yeah. So single element type is like p. We are editing a single element type, like this is a single type, this is a single type. Okay, when we are grouping something, we can even edit our style sheet in a group like h1, h2, h3. I want all my h1, all my headings to be of the same colors. Okay, I'm making a page and I want my everything would be my all the headings would be on the same color. Then we will go like h1, h2, h3, h4, h5, h6, right? So basically multiple element, we can even edit the multiple element, we can even edit the single element. For all element type, like it's already I explained to you, like asterisk sign, then curly braces. This is basically used to edit the all element type, to avoid the multiple to avoid the multiple editing, to avoid the to write the same thing again and again. That's why we use all element type. It helps us to save the line of code. Okay, if our code is less, then our website is more effective. Okay, specific element by id. Okay, how we edit our id? We edit id by hashtag, hashtag p1, hashtag p3. Okay, let's move to the ids, right? Okay, I'm making a id. Okay, for example, h1. Okay, dev class ले लेते हैं. Okay, now we are editing how we edit our IDs. Dev ID me. Okay, and we write h3. Okay, h2. Hi. Okay, we are make an ID. We are making an ID call me, and h3 and h2 are their component. Now let's move forward. If we write hashtag me, we are gonna see like color. If we put color equals to for example brown, we're gonna see like there is a edited turn. Okay, okay, we are gonna see we okay, we are gonna see that okay and high change the color. That's why we make like if you notice anything, like what is happening, like we just write hashtag me and everything inside the me has to work in a particular way. Like we are editing, if you write anything in the me which is include the texts, everything color will be in a same color will be awarded to each and every component of me id, like same as the classes. That's why we make classes and id, because what we do, like if we are adding this to again and again, like h3 we have to make another block, h2 for h2 we are going to make another block, and there is a thing when we have to use like h1 is available also here, p is available also in the body section, and also h3 is available outside the id me. So there's a lot of h1 and h2 and p that we are going to use in our index.html to make our index.html sufficient, to make to not make it unnecessary burdens. That's why we make ids and classes. If I just, for example, like I put id equals to me, now everything in the me is edited. Okay, I just have to write only this piece of code to edit the same thing, to edit the color of my font, right? So I think it's understood like why we use IDs and how we edit IDs, how we save the lines of code, multiple element type, everything is clear. Okay, CSS syntax selector. Okay, CSS syntax selector, basically if you want to select a font, go to Google font and you will see select Google font में क्या होता है. Okay, okay, Google font. When you are selecting a Google font, you will get to know fonts. You will select, there's lots of free fonts that you will get to that you will get from Google. And if you select this, then there is a code available, like this is the code, like style.css import code is also available. HTML code is also available and CSS code is also available. So you don't have to worry about it. Like code कहाँ से मिलेगा? Everything will be there. Like okay, the link here if everything is available. So let's move forward with how we edit the font. Directly go to Google Font to get the fonts. Okay. CSS string selectors. String selectors are basically selector which is used like it's already take like how could we select our strings. Basically it's not a string selector, it's called how we select our classes and things like this. But okay. For example, like we take classes take notes and we are gonna edit the classes in our CSS with dot take notes, right? So let's move forward with it. So CSS syntax element belonging to a style sheets. Okay, this is referring a style element. Take note this span belong to. Okay, I explained everything about the span, like how we edit our span. And do you guys want me to repeat the property of span? Okay, do you guys want me to explain the property? I already explained it.
Yes, once more.
Okay, okay. Basically we have already used the span, like how we edit our things with the span. Basically क्या होता है when you are like I have used the span of over here, like I started with this. Okay. So what is really meaning of span? Like basically it is used to editing a single thing, a single piece of thing in our HTML in our program. We can even edit a small alphabet. Like you can even edit O from hello if you want to change your O with a different color. You will use span to it because it give you the flexibility. Like you can. It's a pair tag, right? What we are using right now is style equals to be using style attribute in our HTML with the color green and color. Then basically what happens, the dollar when we go to our HTML, this is changed. Okay, so span is basically used to edit a very small amount of thing, very small. You can even edit a big or small, but basically it is used to make our thing more visible, more flexible. That's why we use span. Now, what happening here is you can even take a class like take now. You can even take a note. You can even make a class in span also to make our, it depends on the condition to condition. Like if you really want to do something more with your specific a single word, like for the animation you want to float your property in zero point 0.1 point something seconds, then you used to make it a class and added this into the transition, right? So it is very advanced level of CSS. We are not really going to it, but yes, you can take a class and edit all everything in style.css. Okay, let's move forward. Avatar element belong to the style classes. Okay, this is done. Selectors, source, anchor, link selectors. Okay, okay. Let's explain it. I told it earlier also. Like for example, you want if I visited this link first, why how we make link in HTML with anchor tag, right? We already make link, like for example, okay, mm, yeah, for example this in anchor tag we I give him my LinkedIn profile to LinkedIn profile here, and if I already visited it, then what appear here is purple color, like it's purple now. Yeah, it's purple color. So if I wanted to change this style of my CSS, then we go through this, like a colon link color equals to black. For example, if I haven't visited the link, then what happened, it is it is available in a black color, like I haven't visited the link yet. Okay, it is appear in a black color. Then a colon visited, which means if I visited the link, then it became a yellow. Okay, then it became a yellow. if I hover over a link, like basically what is the meaning of hover? If I hover something, you're gonna see enable editing is doing some different job. Like it became a brighter white, right? Okay. So this is the meaning of hover. If you are hover on something, something has different property like zoom in, zoom out, color changing. This is happen when we hover over a link. It become a green. Like for example, like for example, if I hover over this, if I edited this, then it will be appear in a green color. Okay. Now active. If the link is active, now the color will be red. So basically you can edited your link style. For example, like GFG. If we search the GFG, they did these things like okay. Okay. Let's see example. Like if I haven't visited the link, this is the meaning of hover. Like guys, you see the different thing is appear when I move my cursor into it. This is the meaning of hover. Okay. Now when I visited, okay, mm-mm. Okay. For example, this all are the links. Okay, these all are the links. Then what we did it is they use the property anchor colon link equals to color green. That's why it is appearing green. If I click into it and visited it back, I think it doesn't work. But yeah, it happened. When you visited the link, it might change and everything properties come under it. For a link, color equals to black. When we don't visit a link, its color is black. When we visited it, it became yellow. When we hover into it, it became a green. And when the link is active, it is called red. So this is called the how we edited our link. This is a very basic thing, I guess. Like yeah, it's fine. Okay, element type that are descendants. Okay. Okay, now there are several rules when you write to your CSS. You know what? I will suggest you the CSS is more of a syntax. Like if you are missing any syntax and you were like you wasted a hours into it, but still if your syntax is not right, then it will not work. And neither it will tell you कि हाँ यहाँ पे गलती है, right? Okay, so you have to very precise when you are writing your style.css. Whenever you are writing your syntax in reading style sheet, you must be very very good to have knowledge about the syntax, right? Okay, so CSS style root converted as the following. Add rule. This is the second type of a URL. Okay, let's move forward to a different properties. I don't know what this PPT is going to. Okay, now how we add a background image to our style.css. We use background image URL. Okay, so यहाँ पर we put a link like okay for example hashtag link. This is the background image syntax of putting a background image in an style.css. Background image equals to URL. This is very important. Okay, you just not really be that simple like okay, background image equals to you put the link. No, it doesn't. It does not work in your style.css or CSS sheet. First, what we do was like we have to put everything under URL. Okay, so this is the property which is used to put the background image in our sheet. I don't have any image yet, so you can even edit, you can add an image. Okay, one thing to note is that if you are totally a beginner, please save the image in a folder. Okay, save the image in the folder. Like okay, I put an image, I downloaded an image. Okay, and I see like I have a okay, I have a folder HTML, and now you have to save that file in that folder, right? That's why when you write a dot in it, it will appear here. Okay, if you are just downloading to somewhere else folder and wasting hours, yeah, where is my image, where is my image, you have to put that image in your HTML folder, because everything is saved under this folder, right? You can see everything is saved under this folder. Okay, okay, okay. So style.css syntax is very okay. I get to explain how we use our background property to it. Style.css, style sheets in HTML. Style sheets referred by linked HTML element are called external style sheet. So guys, basically there are three type of style sheet. It is a little bit of theory question that been asked to the interviews, like how many kind of style sheet is visible, is is available. Okay, so basically when link, the style sheet referred by link HTML element are called external style sheet. When we are linking some external source to our HTML, then it is called external style sheet. Style sheet can be embodied directly in the HTML document using style element. Okay, now this is the one more thing to note. Like you can even edit your style sheets in your HTML link, but it is not. I will not suggest to write everything in your HTML. Basically, it will make your HTML look little untidy, and it is hard for another developer to see your code and edit it. Right? Okay, we have to, as a programmer, as a developer, we have to write a code that will be understandable with other developers too. Okay, so this is not a thing like we are going to focus more upon. Write your style sheet in a different folder, make a different folder of style sheet, write your different HTML here, write your CSS here, and edit it with the help of HTML. This is more this is more uh, feasible. This is more uh, clear to understand by the other developer and by yourself. Okay, but you can even edit your style sheet in HTML directly with the use of style attribute. For example, style type equals to text dot css as soon as to background color. I will not suggest that till now, so don't focus on that. Most HTML element has style attribute. Okay, we already cover up in yesterday session like what is real meaning of style attribute, what is the real meaning of style tag, like where does it go? Okay, yeah, we are using style tag in everywhere to style a thing. Like we can see how the float property of style come under, like how can I float the image, text, everything to left, to right, to everything, up, down, everything. Okay, so there's a different properties like margin, padding. Okay, today we are gonna learn. Okay, let's start it with the padding. Okay, padding is a basically used as what can we say, as a border. Okay, you can think like padding equals to you're gonna see some difference in me. Okay, let's edit in me. Okay, padding equals to 3 rvm. You're gonna see some difference. Okay, now you're seeing the difference like we visible. Okay, inspect. Okay, so guys, it is visible like you are seeing there is a green type of border which is visible, like you can see in right side of your computer. You wanna see like margin, border, padding. Now we edited our me id with 5 rem padding, which means the difference between this is 5 rem. Why we use padding? We use padding so the texts are not collapsed. When you are writing so many texts, it may not collapse with each other. That's why we use padding. So margin, padding, everything is come under it. Like this is called this. Padding is a green box. Border, I didn't give the border. Margin, I didn't give the border. For starting, put your margin to 0, border 0, and edit your padding to 1 rem. Okay, so this is the real meaning of padding. Padding, you can check any padding to your web page. With go to the inspect section, you're gonna learn about which padding you have done to it. Okay, like padding equals to 5 rem. If I change the padding to 10 rem, you're gonna see a big difference. That clears everything. Okay. Now what you will see there is a difference between 10 rem from the left side, 10 rem from upper side, 10 rem from right side, and 10 rem from bottom side. Okay, you are gonna see all this difference in our style.css. Now this is a portion of a padding, right? This is 10 rem. So this is the padding meaning is pretty clear. Basically, it is used for not it is used so the taxes are not really collapsed with each other. I would suggest not to use so much padding. Like you have to use if you want to use text to shift it little bit here. You can use margin property, right? Let me explain the margin property. Okay, margin. Okay, basically we use margin property, which means we want our text to move little bit left without changing anything. Like you will see there's no padding is included in it. We directly change our style.css with the help of margin. With the left side margin, our text is shifted how much rem? Shifted 4 rem left. Okay, 4 rem left. Okay, now there is lot. Okay, hmm. Margin left means the text is shifted to the left. Margin top means our okay. We're gonna see the difference between the top of our page, like it's moved 5 rem left, and the difference between the top text and our okay text, you're gonna see the 4 rem of the distance. Basically, margin is used to set our text or paragraph with a particular meanings, right? We're gonna see like in GFG what these are. They put the paragraph, the margin of specific type. Okay, they are the margin. They differentiate between the one box to other box with some sort of margin. Okay, they use the margin property to to create a difference between the left and right side and top side in their containers, the box containers. Okay, I think I make my point very clear how we use margin property, where we use our padding properties and everything. Let's move forward. Style sheet, rules of thumb. Okay, XLS. Okay, of an element. Rules. I already explained it. Like in this PPT, it is given that we use asterisk sign to make our whole CSS to act in the same way. Basically, we use star text to apply the same property to all our pages. So, yeah, style sheet where I already like CSS rule explained it. The primary sort of declaration, okay, let's read it. The primary sort of declaration is by the weight and origin. For normal declaration, author style sheet override user style sheet, which override the default important. Like basically, what is the meaning of important? Like, okay, this is a very important thing to discover. Like, this is a one tag called important, which is used to make our text look more bolder. This is why we use important. We want to learn more about the importance. First, complete the PPT. The second is sort of specification, style, attribute, ID, classes. Okay, done. Inheritance. Okay. So basically, if you all are aware of OOPS language, what is object oriented language? I think it is in syllabus, right? Okay. They both are same. They both are same. They both are same. They both have same properties. Still not taught to us. You guys don't know the meaning of object oriented language. Okay, never mind. Okay, so in object oriented language, what is the meaning of object oriented language? Yesterday or yesterday, no, tomorrow we will be covering JavaScript. So we should start JavaScript from basics. Okay, so still not taught to us, not properly. Okay, no worries. The object oriented language are the language which is work in objects and classes. Okay, this is a basically a very long fundamentals. Like in in object oriented language we use classes and objects. Basically it is work like we the class of style is the what classes we have used in a style.css is different what we use in the programming language. Okay, let me clear you. CSS is not a programming language, it's a style language, and HTML is structured language. Okay, the programming language are JavaScript, CSS, and Python, and many more. So the classes we get to know about it, the classes we learn in CSS and HTML. CSS is very different from the object oriented programming. Basically, in object oriented programming, the classes is made the classes is made to write the proper program like for the function. Okay, right, we are aware of the functions. Okay, so same as classes is work as a function, but it has happened like in the memory space, it's everything is work under the stack, right? I guess we have to take these things for JavaScript notes because JavaScript is also a object oriented language. Then I will explain you everything because if I explain you now, then it might be little tough for you to really understand object oriented language because inheritance is a word, is a keyword which is used in object oriented languages. So if you know the word inheritance, it might be very easy for you to understand all this property like what is it saying. Inheritance is basically a meaning in which we use reusable code. It enhances the property where we can reuse our code, reuse our property again and again without wasting any more lines of code. Exactly. So don't worry, I'm gonna teach object oriented language in our JavaScript session because it is very, very, very important. No worries at all. I will try to, serve the best. And I really love object oriented language. So let's move forward to it. What if no style declare apply to a property element? Guys, मैं एक बार पानी पी लेती हूँ. Okay, so guys, I'm back. So basically, what is the meaning of inheritance? So inheritance, what if no style declare apply to a property of an element? What if अपन ने कुछ style दी नहीं है property को? You will see, we will receive an error. Like वैसे बोलेगा please give me some declarations. So I move forward to it. So let's where is the PPT? Okay. Generally, the property value is inherited from the nearest ancestor element that has a value of the property. If no ancestor have has a value or the property does not inheritance, then CSS define an initial value to it. So basically they are using the inheritance property, which means if someone, you will see if I didn't edited anything but it is appear in the block, then generally it inherited it, it claim that property from their parent class, right? Okay, so parent class and child class are the classes, which is like parent classes are the main class, and it is subclasses. The classes which come under the parent class, the classes which come under the classes, these are the cross subclasses. Okay, the subclasses is called the child class, and the main class is called the parent class. Okay, so basically it is saying that if we edit a parent class and by default there was an error that some point is not really cleared, some point is not edited, so what happened, it is uses parent property to inherit it in itself, right? So this is called inheritance. Basically the meaning of inheritance is same. Most property inherited computed value, line and height. Okay, a little thought usually tell you whether a property inherited or not. So don't get too much into the inherited property, just learn the basic CSS at the beginning. Okay, the font is mapping, the font property, we already cleared the font property, right? We don't really, okay, just copy the font and put in the asterisk section of your CSS. Okay, so font family, CSS font property. Font family is a collection of a related fonts like size, weight. What is the meaning of weight? Like nobody has asked me till now. What is the meaning of weight? Weight is basically means how bold your font will look like. Okay, so basically there are just so many property to bold our text. For example, if you want to bold your text, you can use a strong property like we discussed it earlier in our HTML class, like how strong work, like we are strong. When we go to our page, okay, okay, when you go to our page, you're gonna see something strong is happen, same as the important and same as the bold and same as weight. So weight is basically used to bolder a thing in a more specific way. So there's a different meanings and we can use the same properties again and again. That's why I called you at the first lecture yesterday that there's a lots of tags, there's lots of property, but when you are literally going to build some web pages, you're gonna use the same properties again and again and again. Some of the properties like if you google it, like all the properties, and some students be like they make a notes of the tags and every day they make a big notes of a text of HTML tag, and in reality we use the same text again and again. So don't worry about it. If you are so like how I learn all these tags, all these style properties, everything will come to you when you start building things up. You will get to know everything when you google the things like what is a tag which is used, what property is used to for blurring the background, like for the blur the background, which style property is used, which is opacity, right? You're gonna google this different stuffs, you will get to know more different stuffs. If you google a one single thing, you get to know five different things, right? So it comes with a time, so don't very overwhelm yourself like how do we remember all these things up. So let's move forward to CSS font properties. Like, okay, note the most generic font can be easily set on Firefox and Chrome. Okay, these are like their properties बता रहे हैं. So we know the Google font is available to us while we go to Firefox and Chrome. Many properties such as font size have value that is in CSS length. Okay, now like these are the length, like I am using a different terminology like REM. So this is the table. Like take this screenshot of this table. Like in means inches, cm means centimeters, mm millimeters, pt points. pt मतलब points which is equals to 1 divided by 72 inches. It is which means if you want to use very little margin, we use the pt property. We use the pt length. Unit needs pc 12 points px, it's called pixel. Basically you use px when you work in image when you are editing an image. We are just localizing an image. So basically we use px, and em is roughly the height of a capital letter. Okay, ex. This is the all css length value except 0 needs unit. So basically 0 don't need unit. For example, if I in all, okay, for example in all I put margin equals to 0, I don't need property padding equals to 0, I don't need anything. It's saying the same thing like only 0, don't need any unit. If you are just giving any number to your style sheet, you must be aware of like to put a unit into it, right? CSS font, okay, baseline, okay, X height, cell height, okay. No use that they are just calling it is called the baseline. No use, no use. CSS font property. Reference font declare EM and EX unit. Okay, font size 2 EM. I think this PPT is from 90s because right now we have so different units. Okay, the percent can be used. Okay, the percent can be used like percentage font size. You need your font size to be 85%. Basically, 85 the percent is used when you are working with images because images is like you need it 100% wider as original, 60% wider as original. So that's why percent tag percent unit is used for basically for the image, but you can use it from the anywhere. Like it depends. Like I'm comfortable with the rem, that's why I write rem. But you are comfortable with px, comfortable with a percent. It depends on you. When you start working on it, you will find which unit you are comfortable with it. Okay, for example, I explained it earlier, like what is the meaning of weight, like bold or normal. Like basically, I told you like what is a weight property does. It basically bold the syntax. It basically bold the text. Okay, the same like font weight is doing the same thing, and we can even bold a thing with a style. So basically, there's a lots of things, lots of tags which you can use again and again to create the same thing. Like what for the function who don't know that font weight is exists, what he do, he or she go to this HTML page and use the bold tag, right? Use the strong tag or important. Everything can be used, but those who know about the font weight, they use the font weight. The working is simple, right? So font is completed. Okay, font style italic, variant, normal. Okay, okay, the line height, high height. Okay, no need. Okay, so basically font shortcut property, font size is 12 pt. We can even edit the font like this with the style, weight, size, and everything. It is a font property. Okay, we if you want to edit a like style change करनी है, if you want to change the style, you can use italic, font variant. If you want the small and larger, you want to edit the variant like it is want to you want it to be little like height issues, then you can use the variant. Font weight is bold, like you want to strong something, like you want this thing is a very important thing and it must be bold, you can use bold or important. First size equals to 12. Font size, you can put the font size. Line height, font family, you can directly use the font family to a particular font. Like if you are editing a different paragraph, so you have to edit font family different to it if you want to do it. Okay, now these are the text alignment. Okay, I think I explained it earlier yesterday about the text alignment. Basically, what is the meaning of alignment? Left, right, center. Okay, basically left, right, centers or justified. Okay, for the justify like this, what is the meaning of justify? Please note that this is all the text you gonna see in the value are justified because they starting from the same thing, they all are in the straight line, right? When you're writing our school applications, we're gonna say please write it justifiably. Okay, justify means lying in the same line. Okay, this is not, this is going to the left, this is going to the right, no, as a, this is in the center, this is in the right. This is not a meaning of justify. Justify means everything is come under one another. Okay, so text alignment is basically if you want your text to be right, left, we use the text alignment properties. Okay, color. Text color properties, like you can directly use color, background color, text color, everything can come under it. Okay, text color. You can Google the text color because there is a specific code for black. It is like for black, it is it is like hashtag. For black, it is like 000. You will see black. For white, it is like FFF 9 लगा देंगे तो you will see the different color. So there are the different color which is available with this code. You can Google it. You can Google it and find your desired color. A text editor like, okay, this is a very CSS box model. Okay, we have already learned about the box model. Like I give you the brief about the box model. Like when we go to the inspect page, we see the padding is, border is, margin is, everything come under the box model. When you are working on your web page, it is very important to clarify everything in the box model because it is used when you are making your page responsive. It might occur some error. It might take some long time to set the things in the same way like CSS box model. So guys, I think we're done for today because all these are the advanced CSS normal flow charts, like basically what is happening, okay, beyond normal. So this PPT is from the 95 pages. I think we done with display. The value none means that element and its descendants are not related and do not affect normal flow. Okay, their visibility, visible is everything is come under it. Okay, these are the advanced CSS. Uh-uh. So guys, I think we done it today. What? Let's recap it very fast. Let's recap it. So today we learn about why we add our style sheets to the heading of our HTML page. For the color, can't we just write the color? Okay, okay, Ranjit. What happened is it give you the color like pink, green, black, the basic color. Okay, but the basic color is things which is given in your HTML, like it is already defined in HTML. For advanced HTML, like for the purple color, light purple color, for different like different shades of gray, it is not available. So you have to write the codes to it. You just the basic colors are available. For example, green, blue. Okay, okay, let's see. These are the colors are available to it. Okay, these are the things which is available to it. Color are available to it with the code. But the thing is, just go what you desire the most color. Like if you are making a web page, you must be clear about the theme you are going to lose. You are going to work upon. Okay, so not wasting your time. Directly Google the code and just paste it. Okay, तो तुम ऐसे कैसे ढूंढोगे हाउ कुड यू एबल टू गेट द कोड लाइक ठीक है आई वांट टू दिस कोड टू हैपन ओके लेट्स गूगल इट basically if you know it then write the name if it's available then it will show okay so let's recap where we are why we write style sheet in our heading sections and there are the tags that we used for example we if we want to edit if we want to edit our classes we use dot if we want to if edit our ids we use hashtag and h1 ul are the predefined containers so that's why we do not use dot operator and another operators to it. So this hashtag, this hashtag is basically used to put everything under it to save our lines of code. And we learn about the style sheets, font style, how we copy a font family, and the color margin, how the margin and padding works in the box model. Everything we learn about it. And yesterday and tomorrow we will learn about how to make a small project with only HTML and CSS. Tomorrow we will learn. a project like we will make a form with the help of HTML and CSS. Okay, and the day after tomorrow we will learn about the JavaScript. Is that fine? Because if you are learning something, you should learn with the help of projects. It is more important, right? Please send a thumbs up if you agree to it. Agree to it. Yes. Okay. Okay, guys. So tomorrow we will just okay. So tomorrow we will make one project with the help of HTML and CSS only, and learned little things about Git and GitHub too. Okay, how to post your web page for free, how to host your web page for free, how you can do different things with the GitHubs and everything will come under it. I hope you enjoyed today's session, and I'm very sorry that I'm late today because I come from work. Okay. Okay. So thank you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. So let's meet tomorrow at 6:30. Okay. See ya. Bye bye.
Thank you, Panshi. Thank
Hello.
you for this wonderful
Hello.
session.
Thank you, Branchi. Thanks a lot. Uh, Guys who are in the meet, just stay back just a second because on 10th of December, you will have your project making guidelines. So when since we have reached the end of week two, also, you will be starting on hands-on projects. Okay, from 10th of December, you will have your team building workshop, your final mentor showcase. Who are going to be your mentors, and what are your going to be team structure and team and what you're going to be building. Project statements are going to be given out on 10th of December. Okay, you will have complete clarity regarding what will be going ahead with. You'll be given a handbook also for building with it going ahead. Yeah, and people who have joined this meet will be added into an exclusive another group where there will be streamlined communication for going ahead. All the 83 people who are there, apparently who haven't joined, they're not going to be in the further meets. I'm very clear about that. Anyone who comes up with a legitimate reason for not attending meets can still be a part of it. Thanks a lot, guys. Thank you. Because it doesn't look good. People putting in effort day in and day out, and people not attending the sessions, or it's a chalta attitude that yeah, uh, it doesn't matter that we'll see the recorded sessions, or why should we attend, guys? This is only being done for the goodwill of you, for helping you guys out. I don't need to come out in every session and tell this to you because it doesn't make me look good also in front of you guys. You will think what kind of teacher he is or somewhat. But yeah, this is the harsh reality. People are putting in efforts a lot. So if you could tell people who are not attending what kind of thing, go ahead back end arranging this, setting it up, like there is some value attached to it. Please try to maintain that, guys. Thank you. Everyone can leave the meet now. Thank you.